Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored to welcome you to the very first World Higher Education Ranking Summit. And today we are joined by brilliant minds in higher education, leaders in their field, change makers, innovators, people that shape the better world through the power of education. And I'm really honored, and it's a great pleasure for me to meet today Khalid Sartavi, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of School of Business at Philadelphia University. And let me tell you a little bit about this extraordinary leader in the field of education. Before coming to Jordan, Khalid has served in various academic and administrative positions in universities in the United States and in the Middle East. And prior to his career in academia, Professor Sartavi worked in banking and finance in the areas of assets and liability management, corporate credit, and investment. Professor Sartavi is an experienced trainer and consultant and has served on the board of directors and member of different NGOs. Professor Sartavi holds a BBA in management from the University of Toledo, MBA in finance from University of New Haven, PhD in organizational behavior from the University of Alabama, and PDBP in finance from the University of Florida. This is a great honor and pleasure to have you today on board, Professor Khalid. So my first question would be about the region in general. So you're joining us today from Jordan, right?
Yes.
And I know that Jordan's educational system and educational role has become as effective as what has been known as the highest quality standards of education. And what is the thing that, in your opinion, makes it so outstanding that it even attracts a very high proportion of international students that arrive to Jordan?
Thank you, Angelica. Jordan, this is an extension of the role Jordan has played for many years, since the 50s and 40s, actually, when Jordan was sending workers, employees, managers to the Middle East countries, to the various areas of the Middle East, to the Gulf region, starting as teachers, as accountants. So that was the role initially. Jordan played the role of being a hub for qualified workforce. So as the region in the Gulf was growing, and with the oil wealth and the expansion of the economies, there was need for highly qualified labor force, and that came naturally from Jordan, and Jordan, the East Bank and the West Bank of Jordan at that time. So that continued with education. So that was natural step for people in these areas. They are sending their children to get higher education in Jordan, and from there, that role continued throughout the years. And of course, now these countries they all have amazing educational institutions in the Gulf, but there continue to be when there are shortages in medicine, in for example, in areas that are not covered in their countries, they continue to send people, learners to our country. Absolutely.
This is an exceptional example of how university has handled this to make sure that everything is student-centric. And I believe that University of Philadelphia is a very student-centric institution. That's why it remains its high positions in the ranking systems around the world. So my next question would be about the performance indicators. What are the key performance indicators for successful strategy of your institution?
We are for our institution versus my understanding was this is going to be for the Jordan as a country, the key performance indicator for Jordan. For our institution, it is tied to the national strategy. For Jordan higher education strategy. Of course, then we have the criteria also that are related specifically to us. For our university, for Philadelphia University, we're looking for the next few years to emphasize the technology. So that's one area that we decided that is important for us to differentiate ourselves from other universities. All the programs we're offering right now, the new programs we we have rolled out last year, and the ones that can be rolled out next year, they're all focused on technology and or medical areas. These are where the demand is and where what demand is moving in our part of the world. Now, going back to the key performance indicators, I have them here for example, for Jordan, for the strategy, national strategy until 2030. Want to equal access, to open access to the various underserved areas in Jordan, for example, to have equal access to all students. For example, to achieve employer satisfaction with the skills and competencies of graduates of the programs, to the percentage. For example, KPIs, talking about such as KPIs here, the percentage of males versus females coming from lower income families, for example. That's a focus in Jordan to allow all groups access. Interesting here to see that they're talking about women access to the universities. Actually, we have more women in the universities than men. Especially in the government universities, the majority of, we look at the percentage, the majority are women, actually. So, but still here, they want to make sure that access comes from all economic sectors in the country. An important objective here is the quality of higher education, and that projected here to increase and improve the quality of higher education, and that is consistent to the best universities in the world. That is similar to what we see there. So in terms of, we have KPIs here regarding the number of universities that get the accreditation, the most important. So the country has identified the most important professional accreditation agencies, academic, such as AACSB in business, Abbott for engineering and IT, etc. And the objective here is for universities to pursue these accreditations and so that they are in parallel with that worldwide. So we started that shift in Jordan. A number of universities are pursuing that. To improve the information systems and the record keeping that regard. For example, the third one, to accountability. That's becoming a major objective here for the universities at all level. And the last one here, for example, so there are 4 major objectives for the higher education strategy in Jordan. Innovation is the last one. And the criteria, KPIs here, the number of projects that are being financed from outside agencies, and the percentage of courses that are being offered on a blended format and in online learning. Okay, so these are the particular objectives and KPIs as they pertain to the government strategy.
Thank you so much, Professor Khalid. It's truly outstanding that the number of female students is even higher than the number of male students in Jordanian universities. This is breaking all the stereotypes and putting, the pressure on the whole society to empower women and talk about female leadership in the future. My next question would be about facilities. I know that Philadelphia University is on forefront of green facilities. Could you please tell us more? Because I know that there are lots of academics, practitioners, and members of faculty, members of universities, members of staff. They are watching us, and your example would be very inspiring to them.
Actually, Jordan, the university, we are located on a hill. So 30 years ago, we established about 30 years ago, 32 years ago. That was a bare hill that has nothing there. And now it's a forest. actually. So throughout the year, every inch, not only the university campus, but the surrounding area, we went out there and we had made it green. Evergreen trees, and so it's all over the place, and olive trees, etc. That was the first step, and we continue to do that every year. Actually, there's a certification. It's the tree. There's the tree day, we call it, and that day we go out and we plant more trees. Actually, the students and the administration and the faculty, all of us go out there and contribute to that. Following that, we are producing all our electricity on campus. Actually, that's solar panels. We use it on the rooftops, and actually these became sort of resting areas and break areas for the students. So these are on top of the buildings, and under them it is facilities and that created so additional facilities for the students. Our water, we have our own well. We collect our rainwater also. It does not rain much in this area, but we collect what is there and we use it again in agriculture. So it's a very sustainable model. And we produce more energy than actually we consume, because, as you know, because of the seasonality of our business. The summer we have few students on campus, we have different breaks, long breaks, so we end up producing significantly more electricity than we need. So we are doing a little our small share here in helping that.
This is absolutely fascinating, Professor Khalid, because most universities are not doing this, and what you are doing for the nature, for the environment, it is beyond impressive. And I believe that you are following the UN 17 Sustainable Development Goals agenda, and one of the goals is actually climate action. And what you are doing is actually really powerful to counter climate crisis. And I believe that every university across the globe needs to follow this example. And it would be really amazing if that happened, because then the whole world would be much better, more sustainable, a greener place. And I believe students are very happy when they study in the facility that is so green, sustainable, and because most students really care about the issues of climate change. So are they really, I believe that the students are very happy studying there, right?
I hope so. I hope so, certainly. And we have two programs actually in engineering school also offer toward that. One technology degree for sustainable energy, and another degree also a bachelor degree toward sustainable energy also. So we also teach that, and we preach and we practice. And I think the younger people, our students, they are more probably in tune with that than us, actually. Yes, and they appreciate that, actually.
That is beyond impressive, and it's really amazing that institutions are doing this for a more sustainable world. My next question would be about digitalization. As you know, digital transformation is a very important path for every university around the world. What is your experience with digital transformation, and why do you think digital transformation is essential today?
Yes, we started with this actually many years ago. Over almost 20 years ago, actually, we started the process, and we created an institute. And with that, we started by creating courses and a training center for the region, actually. But the approach was different then. The approach then at the time was sort of, these are studios where the professor comes into the studio and we record her lectures, and these are preserved, and then they use that content for the different courses. Then we evolved over time, and now we design courses that have digitized content and digitized courses for going forward. That became very, very handy when the unfortunate events with COVID, where we had to go online. At that time, we did not have, we were not permitted to offer courses online. So the government has discuss this issue for every time there's a new minister, that issue comes out, that are we going to be allowing that, and they created actually the policy for that, but never really approved it. But because during COVID that was accelerated, and now there is a policy toward that, and there's a strategy where every university must contribute toward that, and where percentage of your courses. So the government is really going in an excellent direction at this stage, where they are requiring every university to practice that and to offer percentage of courses online, realizing that's going to be the future of education. We cannot stop that future. It is going to be there, and the best thing we can do is to embrace it and to use it and to use the technology to improve the teaching. And actually, if you look at research results, the best form of education is the blended form. We see amazing results there, where, and especially when we incorporate the new technology that's coming out. Of course, we have not started working in that direction yet, but if we go with the new areas and the new direction in terms of reality, hopefully, we will see some amazing things there.
I love that, and especially how you harness the power of digital presence and help create a very student-centric experience, both digitally and physically. It's super empowering for students in your university. And my next question would be about your success, because in terms of local and global rankings in the past decade, Philadelphia University preserved its position with university high position in this rankings with significance. And what was the strategy, or what were the key elements that helped preserve such high quality position in rankings?
Mostly it's about reviewing the results as they come out. We take that very seriously. Every time the results come out, we review it, we see where we are, our status there, and where are some of the areas that need improvement. It's a constant improvement process, actually. It never stops, to be honest with you. So wherever we find a deficiency, or wherever we find potential for improvement, that's where the work will be. And so it did not stop. This process has not stopped yet. It will not stop. As it evolves, we keep on changing with that. That's ongoing.
That is brilliant. Never stop in your chase for perfection, and always reviewing the results. And the student feedback is very important here, and I believe that this is one of the key centers for your strategy.
Yeah, they are taking it seriously, actually, and we have the more recent students, cultures this becomes more important to them than previous students, it seems. So we ask their opinion. Recently, we have just started the new semester this week. Actually, it was the first week of the new semester, the second semester. The spring starts now with us, and we asked the new admitted learners what was the important criteria for coming in, and many of them mentioned the ranking, the status in the ranking of Philadelphia University was important for them to selecting university. And we're seeing actually better quality students who are being attracted to that. So there is a value to ranking to universities, and in terms of attracting the better qualified students. They look for that, they understand the value there, and they're seeking that. So we appreciate that process.
And one of my really most interesting questions, because I really wanted to ask you this question as a visionary in higher education, is about the future of higher education. How do you envision the future of higher education, and what are the must skills for any higher institutions to succeed in the future? Do you believe that metaverse is the part of this future? Do you believe in gamification? And what is your personal opinion? Should we all join it? I really am very curious about your own opinion.
We cannot stop technology. You either are with it or you are outside the game. I mean, it is something as serious as that. I don't think it's a typhoon. It's a huge thing that is happening right now and been happening for the past few years. With COVID, it's been accelerated. It's been accelerated because now a lot of people were resisting that. A lot of faculty were resisting the move, but then when they were forced for the past year and a half, 2 years to use the technology to deliver courses and teaching, they realized that this is so the COVID in a way had a positive impact in that aspect. It pushed the process. Convinced or not, I don't know. That remains for some people who didn't deliver well. They still, they're saying, "Oh, this is not working," because maybe for younger children, it's an issue here, and that's where we've seen some of the problem that came in through schools for younger children, because they need more socializing, and that's what's missing. But with the new technology, probably that would allow sort of a lot of the social interaction to happen, to where you see using augmented reality or virtual reality principles, where they'd be really more in touch at the university setting. That really resolved. So for us, that we were going in this direction of online and blended, we had issues with regard to, for example, experiments, with interaction between learners. And all of these, it seems that the metaverse will provide a platform where these issues will be available. And the beautiful thing about this technology, and it sort of equalize the playing field. A lot of these things that can be extremely, extremely costly, extremely expensive, if we put it as reality, and this, it is going to be much less costly. Going to be much cheaper actually than that. So it improves the quality at lower cost actually of education. So that I think it will have some amazing impact. And there are actually universities who are able to do a lot of things. If you look at in the United States, Berkeley College, they are doing amazing things in terms of teaching music online. This is a university that is ranked in the top 10 in music, and they have half of their students learning music, how to play music online, and they've done it in a superb way. So yes, if done the right way, technology can improve at a lower cost and make education accessible to the world, to the areas that are unserved. It's going to be equalized. It will equalize the playing field. It will make it for society and learners, because that will impact the cost of education, the cost of attending school, college, and that will really help and empower all the groups. So I think the future of education is amazing. But we have to be on board with that, and we have to embrace it.
This is brilliant. You either with it or outside of it.
Yes. There's no choice.
And I love what you just said. This is a real equalizer, because if we imagine life and studies in areas of crisis, displaced region, displaced people, yes. This is something that will give them the power to continue their education. Absolutely. And being an equalizer is so amazing. Yes, technology has its dark side and we can regulate it, but the power of and the impact that can come with the metaverse or any technology that allows students to study online from their phone, wherever they are, it's absolutely amazing. And thank you so much for your incredible insights on it. And my last question is actually related to UniRanks. A UniRanks platform is built in a way to make it possible for everyone to contribute and to be an integral part of this project through the open rank concept and the ranking committee. And this is done to ensure strong methodology and fairness. So the ranking committee comes with a structure to allow higher education stakeholders to join from all over the world. Mm-hmm. What is your own opinion about the open rank concept and ranking committee?
Great. That's a great approach. Actually, that's a very fresh change from that, where we are, because the problem with current some of the major rankings out there, the problem it is, again, it gives a certain advantage to huge institutions, the well-funded huge institutions, and these are, yes, great for research, great for many objectives, many outcomes, but then there is a role that is played by smaller institutions, by medium-sized institutions in different parts of the world also, who are doing amazing things, that we say in African countries, and where their focus is on education, on teaching and learning, and where they're getting amazing results with little funding. So the problem with the current systems, where they emphasize the funding approach, the more money you have available, the better the ranking. But the proposed approach, where that we'll hear from everyone, is that's going to be more democratizing the process of ranking, and allow the chance and not chance, the input from the different institutions of different cultures, different perspectives, because different institutions have different missions, and it's very important that we allow for these differences in missions to these the different institutions, that are reflected in the rankings, that allow you to pursue a different mission while at the same time being ranked well for what you are doing. So I'm very much in favor of this approach. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Professor Khalid, for your invaluable input. And for everyone who is watching or listening to us today, this has been a very valuable lesson. That has been a very valuable input and insights that you brought to the table. And for me, it was a great honor and pleasure to see the example of Philadelphia University showcasing the whole world, their expertise, their sustainability focus, their student-centric focus. So I believe that's truly empowering for every student in your institution. And I would like to remind everyone who's watching us that today I've been interviewing Khalid Sartawi, Vice President for Academic Affairs and Dean of School of Business at Philadelphia University. Thank you so much, Professor Khalid, for your time, for your effort, and for everything you do for higher education.
Thank you, Angelica. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the time, and nice to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.